Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam.
Children is always a precious gift for any family, any parents. So they go through a very complex emotions. So there are a lot of uncertainty. What will happen to my child? Will my child be the best in the society? Will be able to educate the child? The society or a family invariably blame mother for any abnormality within the child. So they blame you have done something different during the pregnancy. That's one of the reasons why a child is born like this. Once parents, finalize on a surgical intervention, so the child has to be put on the fasting for at least 4 to 5 hours before taking under general anesthesia. And we also need to get a lot of clearance before we put the child under anesthesia. Then we proceed to the whatever necessary corneal surgery which child actually required. Once surgery gets concluded, initially we put through in a very stringent observation facility. Then we hand over the respective parents. Childhood visual impairment is a time-bound phenomenon. So the children are actually have a good neuroplasticity in the initial period. 3 months is a very critical for the visual maturation. Unless we recognize, identify the disease and intervene within that time frame, the child likely to develop what is called as a lazy eye or amblyopia. So this is an irreversible blindness. So later on, even if you go intervene these cases, may not gain much. Therefore, it's very important to do the intervention in the timely manner. Some of the wrong cultural practice in our society is that we do not give the breast milk immediately after child is born. At times we substitute cow's milk to the breast milk. Cow's milk has a poor source of vitamin A and iron. And we also do not do the timely vaccination that results in diarrheal diseases. Some exanthematous fevers like mumps, measles, they can actually trigger a vitamin A deficiency, thereby they can damage the cornea in the very early infancy. So the cornea is a window. It's like a crystalline lens which is on the front part of the eye. If you look at a watch, you have a watch glass and a dial behind. The dial behind is an iris which gives a color to the Indian eye like a brown or a black. So the front portion is a cornea which is a very transparent. So anything which has a curvature abnormality, which has abnormality in the transparency can directly impact the child's vision. At TKCI, we are privileged to have a state-of-art facility, world-class eye banking, collaborative team in maximizing the visual success in this underprivileged children. Currently, 50% of the corneal abnormality we deal, apart from the corneal injury infection, is a developmental abnormality. One of the important risk factors, particularly in this part of the world, there is a high parental consanguinity, meaning inbreeding within the communities, results in a high frequency of developmental abnormality in children, and try avoid parental consanguinity to minimize such a risk. Or in such an event, so parents have to be genetically counseled and the future offsprings have to be carefully planned. It has been estimated a child goes blind somewhere in the world every minute. These numbers are extremely staggering. As per WHO bulletin, there are about 1.5 million children have visual blindness. If you look at 2/3 of them are directly related to the corneal disease. And 90% of these children live in Asia and developing nations like us. And 2/3 of these causes are mainly due to nutritional deficiency like a vitamin A deficiency, malabsorption syndrome, and lack of the trace nutrients in the food, poor awareness, and poor access to the hygiene and medical care. One of the best substitute for somebody's corneal disease is other person's cornea. So other person cornea help in restoring the sight in a patient who has a corneal blindness. We all have to come forward, motivate all to donate our corneas after death. So this would enable somebody to see again, smile again like you and me.